All right, so on slide number 7, this is the last type of notes that we're doing for system of equations. You can click on the word problem and it will show full screen if you need to. It says Monisha and Holly have 14 more days to finish reading the same novel for class. Monisha plans on to read 9 pages each day while Holly plans to read 20. Assuming Holly and Monisha both maintain their reading plan, when will Holly catch up and at what page will they be? So this is really important to look at this part. So Monisha is starting at page 96, and what page is Holly starting at? At 6. So it's going to be our job to write 2 equations. So right here we have the typing symbol. So we have Monisha and we have Holly. So at what rate is Monisha reading at? How many pages per day is she doing? Yep. So 9 pages per day. And what page did she start at? And then what about Holly? So started at page 6. And she's doing 20 pages per day. So what we have to do, we have to make an equation in y equals mx plus b. The m is what she's doing every single day. And then the b value is what you start at. So since we are reading every day, how many pages did Monisha do? She did 9. So y equals 9x plus what page did she start at? At 96. So then what will Holly's equation be? 20x plus 6. Because she's reading at a rate of 20 and started on page 6. Now we are going to use the calculator. I'm going to show you the steps on how to do so. Please note that one of the equations will not, or maybe even both, will not show on the screen. Because look at the y-intercept, it's 96. Usually our screen goes to 6. So if you guys could turn on your calculators. Go to new document. And you're going to go to add graphs. You do not need to do anything to this F1. That's your Y value. So Monisha's was 9x plus 96. All right, we can kind of see it in this corner. That's cool. Now, how to add a second equation? All you have to do is hit tab again. And now instead of F1, it says F2. That just means second equation. And our second equation was y equals 20x plus 6. All right, I'm going to pause for a minute. Check with your elbow partner. See if they got it. If they don't, try to help them. If you can't, please raise your hand. Okay, so the reason why we're graphing this, we want to find where they intersect. We know they will intersect because they have different slopes. The only lines that never intersect are parallel lines, and that would be if the slope was 9 for both of them. So let's find a place where they do intersect. We want to go to menu. And we want to go to the window to try to see the point. Let's try A. I don't know if this is going to work. We're going to try to fit the data. Menu for A. Yes, it works. Menu for, and then A. We're going to fit the lines. Now, I wish it was this easy where we could just click on this point. It's not, and I apologize. We're going to have to hit a few buttons. But you guys have been really well with that. So what we do, we're going to go to menu. And we're going to go to analyze graph. So menu 6. And then I want you to look at the word intersection, number 4. Now a vertical line is going to appear. We're just giving the calculator an area to search. So lower bound means go to the left of the intersection. So here's the intersection. I recommend giving you some room. And all you have to do is click it. Now notice it says upper bound now. You're shading the area. See, you're trying to give the calculator an area to search. And then you click it. So I'm going to give you a moment to process this. Let's go back to Desmos. 8.18, 170. Now this is an ordered pair. Yeah. Fantastic. Yes. So the 8.18 is like after 8 days. Holly will catch up with Monisha. And what page did they catch up on? Page 170. Now this is important to think about. Your X value is always going to be, well, not always, about 95% of the time, will always be your time. And then it's whatever the amount is. So in this time, we're talking about the amount in pages. So 1 or 2 short, sweet sentences. That's all you need for this. Need the ordered pair, and then just talk about it. What does that ordered pair mean? Now on slide 8, you and your desk partner, you're going to work on it. All right. I want you guys to make sure that you come up with the equation. So on your turn, you're going to have Duncan's equation, and then you're going to have Fairfax equation. So come up with those 2 things, and then use the calculator. All right, so for this question, Duncan's equation, customers will pay $50 to rent a mid-sized car plus $5 for each additional day. So his equation is y equals 5x plus 50. The reason why it's $5 each day So each day, $5, each day, $5, so on and so forth. So that's the slope. What is Fairfax's equation? Yeah, Anwar. Yep. So some students get confused because they're like, oh, it's the first number is the slope and the second number is the y-intercept. No, you have to be mindful that what is happening once, what is happening over and over again. What's happening over and over again is the slope. What's happening once is the y-intercept. Now, what you guys are realizing, and I did not realize until you came to me, is that the intersection point kind of is in the corner when you zoom. So I'm going to kind of show you how to fix that. So if you do menu, window, and then A, it's not going to let you find the boundary because it's in the corner. So there's some ways that you can fix this and make it in the center. If you go back to window, you can see zoom out. It becomes a magnifying glass and it says center. Where do you want the center of your graph to be? Just kind of anywhere in the first quadrant. And then notice what happens. It brings it to the center. You just have to be careful with this because notice my magnifying glass is still there. So you want to hit escape and then your normal cursor is there. And then you can do the menu, analyze graph, intersection, go to the left, go to the right, and then we got 10, 100. So remember, most of the time the X is going to be time. And we are talking about the cost. So that's our Y value. So what does the 10 and the 100 really stand for? Yeah, you guys can just say it. Yeah, so after 10 days, the rental companies will have the same cost of $100. And this is what we did back in topic 1, when we had to set the two equations equal to each other and figure out when they were going to be the same. All we're doing now is that we have a 2-variable equation and we're graphing them. Now, I also want to bring up a point. Please use this feature whenever you can to check your answer. The menu, 6, and then the 4. This will work for any one intersection, one solution problem. Whether it's a decimal or whether it is a big number like 10 and 100. So that's going to work every single time. So for this, all I need you to do is plot the points. Going to begin at -3, 1, 2, 3. And just use your mouse, guys. Just click. Up to right 1, click. Up to right 1, click. Now notice right next to the pencil, there is a line. Use this line. Use the first point you drew, and then use your mouse to scroll down and connect the points. You guys can even choose a different color for the second one. I'm going to begin at +6. I'm going to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Now, something that I want you guys to notice, if you look right here, do they intersect at a nice point? No, it's going to be a decimal of an answer. So that's where we're going to use the technology. We are going to use the technology of the calculator. So you're going to graph it by hand. And then you're just going to graph. What was it? 2x minus 3? What was the second equation? +6? Okay, thank you. Also notice my lines look the same. You guys can check. Like, oh, they're going in the right direction. Fantastic. I don't have to zoom. Amazing. All you have to do is menu 6-4. Get the intersection point. Even though it's a decimal, it's still okay. It's one solution. That one solution happens at 1.29, comma, negative 4. Oh, sorry, negative 0.429. There you go. So that's all you have to do. Now for the rest of the lesson, I'm asking you to do exactly what we did here. You can graph slide 10 on this graph, slide 11, 12, all of these. Slide 11 through 14, you can check your answer. If you got 4,7, you would know, oh, hey, that's wrong. So everything else is self-check.